Hey guys, how's it going? It is a great day to be in the garden today. We have our 10-day forecast is looking a little rough, so I am so excited to be getting in the garden right now and being able to do some things. It's going to be a great day to get a few small projects done. Nothing too major. We're going to start a little bit of seeds, and I am hardening off my seedlings. I'm going to show you guys those right now because if you remember when I potted these things up, they have grown. They look so good. Potting up is so important. And then we are going to be moving my Hoselink today. We got water where I need water, and it's finally time to move that thing. So, are you guys ready to see this? Look at how big these foxglove look. Isn't that amazing? I've got Dusty Miller on this side, foxglove on this side. This is the peach foxglove, and these things are just massive right now. So look at this. This is just one 4-cell right here. I've got 4 plants in here. And when I planted these things just a couple weeks ago in their new containers, they were so small and the leaves on them were starting to have some issues, but look at how good they look right now. So I'm in the process of hardening these off. I'm going to be hardening them off for the next 4 days. So what that entails is I am bringing them from inside to outside and getting them acclimated to outdoor weather. And this is actually going to be perfect time because we're going to have some colder weather, and because we're about to have some like rain and some cloudy days. These guys are going to do so well outside this time of year. So today, tomorrow, and the next 3 days are warm, sunny, full sun days, and that's going to be a great way to acclimate them to outside. So right now they're sitting in dappled sunlight, and they're going to sit out here today for probably 4 to 6 hours, and then in the evening time I'm going to move them back inside, and then tomorrow I will bring them outside, and they're going to stay outside all day long. They're going to stay in dappled sunlight. They're not in full sun. They're not used to the UV rays, and so you need to harden them off and get them used to outdoor temperatures. You need to get them used to the harsh sunlight. They're used to artificial sunlight, and so this is going to make it so that we have healthy plants. If I were to just take them, plant them, they would just wilt and they would die, and they would be so sad, and all of the work that I have done would just go down the drain. So we are hardening these guys off for about a week in total. And so in 4 days, they've already started to be hardened off a little bit. The first time was maybe an hour outside, and then you just kind of like increase the time that you leave them outside until you're finally emotionally ready to leave these guys outside for one whole night. So I've got 3 more days until I'm ready to do that. And so in 3 days, I'm gonna leave them outside, and they'll stay in their little seed trays like this, and they'll stay outside all night long. Look at the roots are already growing up the bottom of this. These are going to be so good. So in 3 more days, I will bring them out, and then I will leave them out all night long. And I will probably be so worried, and I know that they will be hardened off, and I know that they should be totally fine. It's just getting through that first day. So we're going to leave them outside a couple hours, dappled sunlight, and I just can't wait to get these planted. I mean, these foxgloves are just so ready to get in the garden. This is such a great size to have. I'm so happy about them. They haven't been fertilized. They haven't been anything. It's just going to be so good. I do have a couple that I did accidentally let dry out a little bit, so you can see. Look at this one, not too happy. This is the rose foxglove, and the rose ones are a little bit smaller. There are a few that are quite large, but there's a couple trays that are a little bit smaller. So I'm giving these guys a very healthy drink of water. I went 1 day too long not giving them water, so that was Brent's fault. All right, we are in the backyard now, and we finally, okay, whoop, didn't notice that. That fell off, that's fun. We are going to be replacing the corners on this bed, on actually all the beds. We had done these metal edging. This is not what I came back here to talk about, but that's all right. We had done this like metal edging, and we used like liquid nails to glue it on, and the liquid nails did not stay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through with a like 1x2 or something like that, or a 1x4, I don't know, something to cover this gap right here. And so this will be a wood corner, not metal. I liked the metal because it was flush and it was flat, but they literally constantly fall off, so we're just living the dream. Anywho, came over here to talk about this. So this is where the Hoselink is going to get mounted. So we put in new water over here in the vegetable garden, and I will have this water spigot right here with my little angry frog, and on the back of it It's really cool. So it comes up from the ground, cast iron pipe, and then it tees right here to a back spigot, and then it goes forward to this. So this will be the spigot that we use to fill watering cans or just anything that needs direct water right here, I guess. I don't know. This is to make it look pretty. But on the back of it, I have this right here, which we are in the middle of redoing our irrigation in the cut flower beds right here. So we're going to be attaching a ratio system here, or a rainbird system. I think we have a rainbird system, so I think we're going to start out with that. We're going to attach it here, and then we will attach it to our beds, which will feed. So this one line right here will stay on and pressurized, and it will feed this bed, that bed, that bed. I need to build a new bed here, this bed, and it will feed this bed up to the walkway over there. So that one zone will be all off of this over here. And then I'm going to come through and I'm going to attach my Hoselink to this side. This is a 4x6. So the Hoselink reel is going to get attached here, and then my Hoselink can sit here, so that way I can have a hose that pulls out, and then I'll just always have a bib right there. I don't know why we need to. I wanted to. I wanted the pretty one, and then I wanted the hose reel. So that is the plan for the day, is to move that Hoselink now. So currently our Hoselink is on the fence. This is a 50-foot hose reel right here in the color charcoal, which matches our fence perfectly. And it was hooked up to a water spigot that we had that was right here, but we killed the water to that section because it was coming through. We had to go all the way back. And now that I've created this bed, it's impossible to get to that. So we need to move that hose reel. So I'm going to take that off and we'll remount it over to that post, and then it'll actually be accessible over there, and I won't be trampling through this garden bed, because once this fills up, that is not going to, I'm not going to be able to reach that at all. So I just have a impact drill with a 3/8 bit on here, and that is just going to take this off with ease. Just like that, the Hoselink is in, and it should be easy to be able to swivel around as we need it. I decided to put it on the garden bed back here rather than this post. I was putting it in the post, and the post did start to crack a little bit, and then I decided, wow, that's gonna look really clunky having that be huge, and it would stick out right here, and it would always have to be like sideways. Whereas I can have it on the bed, and I can have it just like that. And I think that's just gonna make the most sense, is to have it just like that. It's super easy. And then this is the on off, so I have plenty enough water here. And now it is seed starting time. This is my favorite project. I love seed starting. And I know it's not for everybody. I know not everybody loves to start seeds, but I've got about 1,000,000 videos on seed starting. This is not by any means a comprehensive guide on how to start seeds, but it's what I will be doing and how I do it. I do put all of my stuff under grow lights. And I even started out before I invested in Bootstrap and before I invested in like really nice grow lights. I had one single grow light and I grew one single seed tray by a window under this crummy grow light, and it worked. It's not how you do it, it's just doing it. And I think the joy of starting seeds is so worth it, and the money you save is so worth it. And then you find out, okay, I do love it, and then you invest in good grow lights, and you invest in good growing mediums, and you invest in seed starting kits, and you invest in ways to protect your seedlings, and all of these different things are an investment. And I think it's worth it to find out if you enjoy seed starting or not, and to do it cheap, and then to invest. Don't just invest if you don't know if you enjoy seed starting or not. So what I'm going to be doing today is filling up all of my little seed cells. These are from Bootstrap Farmer. I know it's gonna make somebody so angry because of OCD. This whole tray was supposed to be purple, but I could not find one more purple seed starting tray, so I used blue because I figured it was close enough. But to make you happy, this whole one is pink. So I am sorry about that. And then I'm gonna be using the Ocean Forest. It is my preferred method to seed starting, is to use the Ocean Forest. I also do use the Happy Frog. I find the Ocean Forest has a lot less rocks and sticks in it. If you can use a seed starting medium, use that. I can't find it easily, and when I do find it, it is top dollar, so I don't do it. So my plan for today, I've got my box with my pen and my labels. My plan today is to start this. This is called Saponaria, and I grew this last year, and I loved it. I actually grew it in 2022 is when I started it, late 2022. So it was for my cut flower garden for 2023, and I did grow a little bit of it last year. And this is a cold hardy plant. This is one that you grow in the winter months or very, very early in the spring. It says performs best in areas with cool summers. So for those of you guys that do have a cooler summer, this will grow great for you. For me, when we hit 118 degrees, it does not grow great for me. So I grow this as a like winter crop, and it blooms so beautiful. I love having this, so I'm going to do probably a lot of this because a lot of it is really what you do need. And then I am planning to grow some dahlias today from seed. It's one of my favorite things to do. I did it for the first time 2 years ago, and the cool thing with growing dahlias from seed, so I have the giant hybrid mix from Johnny's and from Pine Tree Garden Seed Company. So I'm going to do both and just kind of see what happens with them. You'll want to start these 10 weeks before your last frost. So those of you that still have time, do it. I'm so late to starting these. It's okay though. It'll be fine. I know usually in April we will get a frost, even though April is not our last frost date. Our last frost date is well before that. But I know April, usually around the 12th, because that's my birthday, we will get a crazy cold snap hailstorm. So I should be okay with these guys. So I'm gonna start them now. I should have started them a while ago, but it's fine. They take about 15 days to germinate, maybe 20 days. And cool thing with starting dahlias from seed is you don't know what you're gonna get. It's a surprise. So the more you start, the better off you're gonna be. So I'm going to start a whole bunch of these today, and when you don't know what they are, you actually get to name them if you decide to keep that dahlia, because it's a brand new variety, which is really, really cool. So I actually grew some a couple years ago, and I grew this beautiful yellow one. I named it after my cousin Alec, but the tubers were really tiny, and I knew that they wouldn't keep, so we did have to toss it. And then I named another one that was blooming. It was beautiful. It was like pink on the outside, and it had a bright yellow center, and it was just very free. And I told Jane, I said, I'm naming this one after you. And the tubers on it were also bad. So I didn't save any tubers from any of them. The ones that I didn't like, the tubers looked really good, but I was like, I'm not saving the tubers on these ones. They're really ugly. So that's kind of the hard thing about growing dahlias from seed, is you want to make sure that it's a beautiful flower, and you want to make sure that the tubers are a nice tuber. And I did not get that the first year that I did that. Anyways, I'm also going to be growing some scabiosa. I can grow scabiosa here during our winter months. They don't grow big during our winter months, but I can keep them outside on cooler days, so I'm not worried about it. This is so dumb of me. I'm gonna grow gomphrena right now, and I know this is a terrible mistake, and I know it's a terrible mistake because I did this 2 years ago when we had our cut flower garden. I grew gomphrena, and I grew it very, very early, and when I grew it early, I put it outside early, and we had one day that hit, I think it was like 33 degrees, and they didn't make it. So we're trying again. My plan is to grow the gomphrena now and to get it to grow beautiful and big in its little seed trays. That way I can have it for in the garden. So I'm only gonna grow 2 if I have seeds. I might be out of this one. I think I'm out of this one. I really wanted to grow this one. Whatever. This is the atomic purple, and then I'm also going to grow the snow white. Definitely gonna grow the snow white. I have this one called mandarin orange, and I'm not gonna grow it. I didn't love it. It's very bright, and I don't love that. Gomphrena is one that you either love it or you hate it because it is very hard to harvest because you are harvesting one stem and the bloom on it is about this big. But I think they're so cute and I think they are so worth it. So I'm not starting a whole lot today. I'm starting 4 different things, but I'm gonna be starting a lot of them. So each tray is going to be 2 varieties. So it'll be dahlias and gomphrena, and then it will be the saponaria and the scabiosa. So let's get these guys filled. So I really think that if you're gonna do anything, at least grow some dahlias from seed this year. I think growing dahlias from seed is like such a cool experience. You really don't know what you're gonna get. You can buy tubers for the dahlia and you know exactly what you're gonna get when you buy that tuber. But with growing from seed, you could grow the next cafe au lait, which cafe au lait is one of the like probably most sold dahlia tubers out there. Everyone knows who cafe au lait is. Everyone wants a cafe au lait. And then there's another one called Breakout, and you never know. You could grow the next one of those. I will say the hard thing about growing from seed, you never know if you're gonna get a double or a single, or if you're going to get a water lily. The singles seem to be the most common is what you're gonna get, which I personally don't find too many singles that I love. You know, it is what it is. Finding the like really full dahlias is very hard. And the reason that it is hard to find those when you're starting them from seed is because when you start those from seed or getting seeds from those, it's really hard for bees to pollinate those. And so it's really hard for the bulb, it's really hard for them to develop really beautiful seeds. And so the seeds usually aren't all that viable, or there just usually aren't any seeds because it's so hard for the bees to get in because the centers are so compact, making it so hard for them to get pollinated. So if you're gonna grow anything though, at least grow some dahlias this year from seed. Do one quick little tray. Do it in an old piece of Tupperware. Poke some holes at the bottom of some Tupperware, a sour cream container. I know you got one. You know, just maybe grow a couple seeds this year. Buy a cheap grow light off of Amazon. The first one that I bought, I think it was like, I want to say it was like $10 or something like that for this grow light. I'm going to put a link to it down below because it worked beautifully. But it was one grow light and it worked beautifully for a piece of Tupperware that I grew seedlings in. It did not work well for a whole tray like this. There wasn't enough light. But I do think, you know, everyone can find just a little windowsill where they've got an outlet near it and maybe put a little tray on a table, and then it's getting extra light from the windowsill and it's getting the light from the grow light. So I think everyone should at least grow dahlias from seed. Like I said, I get my seeds from Johnny's. I get them from Baker Creek. I've got some from the Pine Place, and those ones they sent to me, so I'm excited to try them. I love seed starting. Sorry about the OCD people. Talk about this a lot too. If you're gonna start seeds, one thing that I do like is I like these bootstrap seed trays because I have the 6 cells and I love those. I also have the 72 cell counts, and when I started my flower farm, I loved those. I thought that was the best thing ever. It was space saving. It was fabulous. I could pop the tray out of the big tray and water very, very easily, and I could transplant things very, very easily. But I will say I do a lot of things now very early because I want them to have a good size when I put them in the garden in the springtime. And with that, I I need these larger cells. So I like the 4 cells because of that. It makes it so that I don't have to water as often because I'm terrible about watering. I mention this all the time, how bad I am about watering my plants. I don't think about it, and I don't enjoy it. I hate watering plants, which is crazy because I should enjoy watering plants. It should be a peaceful thing. It's not to me. I do not enjoy it. And so watering my seedlings falls in that category of not enjoying watering my plants. So these 4 cells buys me a little extra time. The 6 cells are perfect for starting your seedlings in, and then you can pot them up to the 4 cells, or you could start out with one of the 72 cells, and then you can pot up to these 4 ones. My issue is I also have a problem with overstarting seedlings. I don't know why, and that's not a normal thing. And with this, I can only start 4 seedlings in one of these. In one tray, one big tray, 8 plus 8 is 16. I can start 32 in this instead of 72. 32, is that right? 8 plus 8 is 16. 32, yeah. I can only start at 32 in here rather than having the 72 cell, and I can start 72 plants in one of these trays, and that's bad for me because I'll start 72 dahlias and I'll start 72 gomphrena. Honestly, that's how the flower farm started, was because I was like, you know what? It's so easy to start these seeds and it's so cheap. Let's do that. It was so worth it. All right, just like that, my trays are done. They're full. Now we're gonna go through and we're gonna start our seeds. Make sure you label. I'm usually terrible about labeling my plants, so we're gonna make sure that we are not going to be terrible today at labeling plants. I just think that I need gomphrena, dahlias, scabiosa. Bam. Okay. So, small issue. I actually need to order seeds. So actually I'm out of the scabiosa that I wanted to grow. So I thought I had the pink scabiosa and it was my favorite to grow. I'm gonna order some of those tonight and I will start those because I have to have that this year. It was so gorgeous. All I have is the Fama White and the Snow Maiden. And I don't need that many white scabiosa, so I am going to just do the Fama White because I liked the Fama series, and I'm not going to do the Snow Maiden. And then gomphrena, I don't have any of the pink, so I'm going to do white, and I guess I'm also going to do the mandarin orange because I'm out. But I do have the dahlia mix and I do have the saponaria, so I guess that's a win. And you can buy single stem dahlia seedlings, so this pretty much is going to guarantee that you're only going to get single stem seedlings, which is not what I want. While they're beautiful, it's not what I want. I want to try and hopefully get some full ones, especially with the giant hybrid mix. You're guaranteed to also get some singles and whatnot, but if I can get some really big ones, I'm gonna be so excited about this. So it's pretty straightforward. We're gonna take our seeds, and these seeds right here are from 2022, so I'm probably gonna pop a couple seeds in here. Rule of thumb with seeds, do as deep as the seeds are, plus one more. So twice the depth of the seed. And I'm probably gonna put about 3 to 5 in each of these because I didn't buy any seeds this year. I can always thin out. When I am all done with my seedlings today, I do plan to go ahead and put them under my big grow lights, and I will be covering them with a humidity dome also, just to really lock in that moisture. And once all of the seed trays have come up, then I will go ahead and take the humidity dome off. The humidity dome is really going to help with moisture control, meaning that since I'm really bad at watering my seedlings, that I really shouldn't have to worry about it. Until everything comes up. So I'm going to water these guys once. I'll put some extra water at the very bottom of the seedlings, and then at the bottom of the tray, And then I should be golden. Good, should be set until I take that dome off. I'm putting 2 dahlia seeds per. Why I ordered 500 dahlia seeds, I will never know. Because it was 10 o'clock at night and I decided that's a good purchase. I need 500 seedlings. Ooh. Bam. Tray 1 is done and ready to go. And we're gonna move on to tray number 2. We are going to just skip this tray because I am going to see about ordering some of these pink scab. You know what? We're gonna start some Dusty Miller because I can do that right now. And one of you guys sent me some Dusty Miller seedlings. So I really wanted to grow the new look Dusty Miller, and I was not able to get seedlings, or I wasn't able to get seeds for it for some reason. And so one of you guys do what I do, where you accidentally forgot that you ordered, and you ordered a second pack, and you sent your second pack out to me. So thank you. And I'm gonna go inside and go grab those, and I'm gonna go get these planted today. So then I can not waste a seed tray, and then I'll just start more seeds in a little while. When did I buy these? 2024. Yeah, they should be good. 2 seeds. So just because your seeds have an expiration date does not mean that they expire. So it says that this was test date 5/2024, and it means that they were going to sell them for 2024. With that, the seed companies have to put a date on them, by a sell-by date, because the germination testing that they do. And so they can't sell seeds that are tested from a different year. And so they would have to toss them. And so if your seeds say a sell-by date, that's not entirely correct. It's just when they have to sell them by. Your seeds don't expire. Don't just throw them away. Like this one says that it expires 12/31/2024. Well, I'm not gonna throw them away. That means that they expired a month ago. That's insane. So we're gonna keep these guys and we're gonna keep using them until my seeds are out. But what happens is your germination rate probably goes down a little bit. And so you just, every year, add an extra seed in. So instead of doing 2 seeds, the next year you do 3 seeds, and then 4 seeds, and so on until your seeds are gone, because I overbuy on all my seeds. So now we're gonna do this last one of the dahlias, new look, or not dahlias, the new look Dusty Miller is what we're gonna do here. And these are pelletized seeds. I'm actually not going to cover pelletized seeds. And with pelletized seeds, pelletized is the only one that really needs to be used that year. Pelletized means that they have a little coating on them. And with that little coating, it just greatly reduces the germination rate the following year. So really you get 1 year out of them, maybe 2 at most. So Jean, thank you for sending these out and your lovely note. As I bring that up, I usually get questions about how you can send mail. We do have a P.O. box. The address is in the description of every single video. And I love getting letters, just saying. So these are pelletized seeds. Like I said, you've got about 1 year to use them. So with these ones, you don't cover them. They do need light to germinate. And the pelletized on here really just helps you be able to see this plant because these seeds are so teeny tiny. And so you can make sure that you're just getting your seeds in the ground here. With these guys, you really want to grow them for their foliar growth. They will flower. It's kind of hard to get flowers off of them. And they are a tender perennial in zones 8 through 10. So my Dusty Miller, I can usually get it to winter over. I grew this one 2 years ago, and it was the most gorgeous Dusty Miller that I've ever grown in my entire life. And I am just going to use as much of the seeds as possible. I still have a few seeds left, and I really can't use them. So we are going to save them, but I am overseeding just to help with germination and making sure that I at least get 8 plants here. So we'll put this back in here. It says germination rate was 97% on 9/2024. And so by next year, I should be able to at least get 50% germination rate. So I gotta write a new tag. Perfect. So these guys right here, I'm going to use a mister and I am going to give them a little misting. They will greatly appreciate it. And then I'm going to put a humidity dome over both of these trays, and they're going to go under the grow lights. And that, my friends, is all that I have for you today. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that the sun is not blinding you right now. So thank you guys for coming along with me for some garden chores. I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you for visiting our garden, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.